Thing that said, take a look at what happened.
On the 13th of July, during a campaign in the swing state of Pennsylvania, there was an assassination attempt on Trump's life. Shots rang out, Trump grabbed his ear and ducked down at the Secret Service's command, and they quickly acted to cover it. An initial round of gunfire is heard, then another round of Secret Service returning the fire, then the shots stop. The shooter appears to be Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old American in Pennsylvania, who was also a registered Republican and was wearing a t-shirt, a guns rights organization. It's important to note that these reports are preliminary and subject to change. At the moment, we don't have a motive, maybe something will be uncovered. It's also important to simultaneously highlight the evil and heinous acts that these gunmen have done, but to also tread the fine line between popularizing or celebrating or projecting their image or their cause and ultimately giving them the attention they want and motivation for further attacks. Unfortunately, one victim died at the scene. Trump was only grazed and the gunman was shot dead at the scene. Conspiracy time. No, not actual conspiracy time, but let's delve right into the meat of what may or may not have happened. First things first. Wait. Trump is Biden's election opponent. Biden represents the state, and let's face it, Trump is not scared to say the state is coming after him. Obama spied on his campaign, Joe Biden is going after his political opponent in the courts, the whole system's rigged against him, even the electoral system, but I guess it would be an easy shot just to say Joe Biden ordered his assassination. But curiously, even Trump's not claiming that. Regardless, I went to Joe Biden's most recent social media posts, and it was quite recent after the incident, so no statement had been put out at that stage. However, it was no surprise to see a frenzy of comments blaming Joe Biden for attempting to assassinate Donald Trump. But what were the Democrats' response? The response from the Democratic side was overwhelmingly positive, wishing Trump a speedy recovery, condemning political violence, and recognizing this as a horrific act. However, others in the Trump camp, such as Mike Johnson, say that due to Democratic irresponsible rhetoric, attacks like these are possible. This may have some truth to it, however it's important to add context that when faced similar criticism, they deny everything. For example, when Trump said we need to fight like hell in the January 6th attacks, or when various other plots like Republican plots to kidnap the governor of Michigan happen. Okay, what effect does this have on the election? Well, one thing's for sure. If Biden was in a precarious situation before this event, well, now it's a whole nother level. Trump, who usually battles low favourability ratings, will now receive a welcomed wave of sympathy. Elon Musk and Bill Ackman, in light of this event, have now officially endorsed Donald Trump. And although it's not very surprising, which camp they were leaning towards, this event has led to their official endorsements. However, how impactful these endorsements will be is to be seen, as it was not very ambiguous in the first place which camp these figures were in. Anyway, let's wrap up the video by having a look at what Nate Silver, the lead developer of 538, has to say about how this event will affect the upcoming elections. Although the impact of events can be highly uncertain, it doesn't mean that we can't predict some directional impacts, he says. He goes on to say, at Polymarker for instance, Trump's chances of winning have spiked to roughly 70% from 60% before the shooting attempt. We mustn't forget this is coming after the backdrop of Trump's electoral chances ballooning in the polls after a disastrous debate by Joe Biden, regrettably, leading to many in his party wondering whether he should even step down and be replaced, whether he could run. That was horrible for the Democrats. And one thing I can say is, if you're working in the Trump campaign, this type of coverage and media attention he will get, and the wave of sympathy, it's not going to exactly hurt him in the polls. Nate Silver also goes on to say that the Trump campaign will have the high road or the low road to take. It seems so far that they're taking the high road, and he speculates that this will lead to even greater success in the polls. So it's not bad from a political science point of view of winning the election, of increasing his lead in the polls. In the background of the video right now, you can see Trump raising his fist to the air in defiance, in triumph, kind of. This produces very media positive, eye-catching images, and it doesn't change his policies, it doesn't change the man. However, you can imagine it just solidifies him into some sort of martyr for his fans, and for undecided voters or independents, this definitely boosts his image a lot, because even being the victim of an attempted assassination, you'll receive a wave of sympathy, but having that sort of reaction afterwards, definitely to someone not interested in politics, would increase his likability. So in short, after a sympathy bounce, the poor performance from Joe Biden, a potential convention bounce from the Republican convention, polls could get a bit more ugly for Biden, especially also considering that he will have a VP pick soon, which could generate some momentum. So it's not looking great for the Biden camp. So a big decision or a big change in strategy could come, but it's not looking good for the Biden camp election-wise. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. This video tackled some tough topics, and thank you for sticking through them with me. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.